kind of like that one.
I do like that one.
All right, so we've got a couple people watching, and nobody knew that we were going to be on tonight, but we are here to represent Women Anglers of Minnesota, and we are on quite a few platforms tonight. So we've got Michelle's Facebook Live crew, and Yay. You've got my Facebook crew, and then of course we are broadcasting as Women Anglers of Minnesota to our private group and our YouTube page. So one, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Shanda. I'm the regional director with Women Anglers of Minnesota, and we are here tonight to talk about our fishing guide extravaganza that's going on. And of course, it's pretty exciting. It's fun to see. If you guys haven't seen some of our posts, it's a great virtual fundraiser we've got going on right now. And of course, I've got Michelle, who is the president of our club, and I want to introduce her. And tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Shanda. I joined WHAM about 4 years ago with the goal of becoming a more independent angler. But I absolutely love fishing because I always love an adventure. I love the time spent with family and friends, and it also kind of feeds my competitive nature a little bit. But when I joined WHAM, I fell in love with the Master Angler program, which celebrates big fish. And so I ran that. I've been involved in starting some of the virtual tournaments. There was a toothy team tournament, and we've got a WHAM Slam Challenge, which is all species all year, which is going to be a lot of fun. I was a board secretary for a year and then was elected president starting January. And I took over for Kristen Merwin, and she left some really, really big shoes to fill. She was president for 7 years and did some amazing things for this organization. But I'm lucky to have a great board of 16 people, super hardworking. We're doing a lot of great things this year. Our primary goals are member engagement and then just fostering a supportive environment for women and children in the sport of fishing, and then increasing our visibility in the fishing industry, because I think WHAM is kind of a big deal and I want people to know about it. So we're at 950 members now. We're hoping to hit 1,000 before our open water tournament on June 5th.
Yeah, that's super exciting. It's been fun. I've been a part of the board for the last, it's like 3 or 4 years, 4 years maybe.
Yeah.
And it's been a great organization to get to know people. And everyone knows, if everyone's watching on my personal page, they all know I love to fish, and it was just a hobby. And so it was kind of neat to find something like you to reach out to and, meet all these wonderful women, but to have an amazing organization with a fantastic goal. And that's what we're here for tonight. And that's fundraising. And not only for us, but we're fundraising for our mission. And our mission is to, of course, serve women and children and expose people to the outdoors and fishing especially. So why we're here tonight, of course, is to talk about this fishing extravaganza that we've got going on. And I have to commend Michelle. Michelle was a huge leader in organizing this one, or spearheading, I should say, this fundraiser. And so it's really rewarding to see what you've come up with. That's for sure. We've got 35 guides. So for all of you, why we're talking about this is because we are working with 32 auctions, and we've reached out with our membership. We've reached out from other organizations, and all of us, guide junkies, to reach out to people to give the opportunity to, where do you go to have this quality of guides that not only are donating 100% of their time, which means we get 100% of the revenue. And so, it's just, I think it's great what you've spearheaded, and it's fun tonight to talk about that. And that's why we're here. We've got trips from all over Minnesota. We've got a couple in Wisconsin. And then, of course, for all of our snowbirds, there is a trip in Florida that's up on the auction too. Michelle, tell us how you got that one.
This winter in March, I went down to Miami and ended up fishing in the Everglades on one of the drift boats for red. It was a goal to catch a redfish. But I got my first sea trout. It was really a cool experience. And that guide, I told him about WHAM, and he was open to donating. So
Yeah,
It
it's
was
pretty
a nice
amazing.
connection. Yeah.
We've gathered for every type of species. So everybody watching, I'm going to just tell you this. Remember, it's Mother's Day coming up. We've got
Mhm.
Father's Day coming up. We've got birthdays. And like my main thing in life is just creating memories and like experiences for people. So that gives you a lot of reasons to make sure that you check this out. I will make sure that I put right up here on the bottom if you're interested in already seeing what we've got going on while we talk. You can look up 32 auctions /WHAM 2021, and that will bring you right to the site. And it runs today. It started at 9 a.m. and it goes till Monday at 7 p.m. And we have the whole weekend to go ahead and take a look at this and watch people bid. But I think the biggest thing is this is 100% back to organization, and we can give 100% of that back out into the community. So
Right.
tell us what we're going to all do with that money raised, Michelle.
Yeah, in addition to our member offerings that we provide, our charitable outreach really focuses on kids. And so we've sponsored the Midwest Fishing School of Fish. They have classes for kids all across the state. I looked today, I think they had about 24 different classes in all areas of the state. We provide scholarships for the Student Angler Tournament Trail. So I think we've got scholarships for 3 of their tournaments. We've sponsored a couple high school teams, Crystal Lake Bassers and the Owatonna team. There's the Crystal Lake Bassers. And then we provide rods and reels through various programs. I know Buffalo Days is coming up in June, and then the Iron Range Rotary Contest. So we provide rods and reels for them. So all kinds of ways to get kids out fishing and get them off the electronics and enjoying the outdoors.
No, for sure. And I always come back to this picture because I think if this would have been a sport when I was in high school, like that would have been like the coolest opportunity. And so we have a new pairing, and I'm really proud of this with the organization. And so do you want to talk about with Jimmy Bell and our relationship with the Student Angler Tournament Trail?
Yeah, we started, I don't know if last year was the first year that we provided scholarships. And then this year we've continued that mission. So yeah, there'll be 3 of their tournaments throughout the year that I don't know how they'll determine it, but women fishing in that or girls fishing that will be eligible for a scholarship.
It's so cool. And it was just a really neat impact thing. And these kids have to go to college, right, to redeem this too. And so having that relationship and watching these girls, like not only one have an opportunity, but 2 winning, and then also getting these scholarships is like completely, it's just it fulfills us, right? And this is why we do what we do.
Yeah, we're excited to do it. Exactly.
Cool. Well, we have got one of our donors with us tonight. And so I want to bring up his thing. And I am going to introduce him and hello.
Hi.
This is Jason Rylander, and he is with North Country Guides. And first of all, before you introduce us and tell us, of course, about your family and everything, thank you for being a part of what we're kicking off tonight.
Absolutely happy to donate and support your guys' organization. I think what you guys are doing is simply fantastic. Getting more and more people out fishing, regardless if they're men, women, children, or whatever. The more lines we have on the water, the more fun everybody can have, right?
Absolutely.
Sure.
I've got I had strict instructions with my 2 boys here to be quiet while I'm on the on this here, but I got my 2 children. They're running around here. They're 9 and 11, and try to get them out fishing. I think, Cove, what's your favorite part about fishing? Eating the fish. Yep, I knew that was going to be his answer.
Perfect.
He fell in love with panfish this winter. What's your record? 14 fillets? 14 fillets for a 9-year-old. So yeah, we sure enjoy fishing at our house and get out as much as we can, don't we, buddy? Yeah.
Perfect. So Thank you again for doing this. So tell us a little bit, if people are coming, you sell your trip a little bit. We need to hear a little bit what a day experience with you will be.
Well, I never guarantee fish, but I always guarantee a good time. Fish usually camping anyway, so we don't have to worry about that. But that's one thing. I'm outgoing. I like to have a good time. I guarantee you we will laugh and have a blast, and we'll reel in some fish. And the trip is really up to you. Do you want to go get eater walleyes and come home with fillets to feed your family? That's what Cove will want you to do. Do you want to bring some children? Do we want to stay active and catch some panfish? We've got plenty of panfish opportunities around Bemidji here. Do you want to go take a risk? I'm not a muskie guru by any means, but I've got the equipment and some knowledge. I've caught them in the past, so we could go out and take a stab and try to get a muskie in the boat. So the options are really endless. We're blessed with some really cool waters around here. The Lake Bemidji, where you're fishing kind of, an urban kind of scenario, I guess, as much as Lake Bemidji is with, houses all around it. Do you want a Northwoods feel? I'll take you to a lake that doesn't have a single house on it, and we can get a Northwoods kind of feel and experience. And I'm very, very flexible with what we do and the time on the water. I think my thing says 4 hours, but I guarantee you that we'll probably fish at least 6. We'll fish till you're sick of it or till it gets too dark. I'm very, very flexible. Erica, my biggest muskie is 50-ish. I have a terrible measurement on it, but I'm pretty sure it was in that 48, 49, 50 range.
You must round up at that point.
Yeah, that's right. I got plenty of 48s, but I haven't officially broke 50. We'll put it that way.
Awesome.
Nice.
Cove wants me to tell you about his mom's biggest fish, because she's actually caught a bigger fish than I have. She's got a bunch of sturgeon over 60 inches, and I haven't. I think my biggest is like maybe 55 or 56.
Wow.
But that's because mom doesn't let me reel any in anymore.
Yeah. Let's see go there.
Well, here I just brought up, of course, we can go and we'll set links in all the comments too. So I brought up here in 32 Auctions your page, and like somebody commented in your Facebook today, you do look like you're 23 in that picture.
Yeah, because I probably wasn't much over 30 in that picture. That was a long time ago. That was out on Leech Lake with Matt Brewer. We were trying to get some pictures for the website, and obviously that's the one that's still on there. That was several years and several pounds ago, for sure.
I love it. It's like you're 30 years old having like a 30-inch fish. Not quite that big, but we can for sure. Yeah. Yep. But anyway, I wanted just to get on here. Right now we have a current bid of $375. So we need, if you guys want to fish with Jason, you need to go on 32 Auctions /Spam 2021 and check out your link. And like you said, you're going to be super flexible in what we want to do, what anyone wants to do.
Absolutely. We can make anything work. If you want to bring the family, that's honestly, when I'm guiding, like last summer was so much fun because we were busy. People wanted to get outdoors. Kids didn't have activities.
Yeah.
So our phone at North Country kept ringing and kept ringing and kept ringing. And what was fun about it is I did so many trips with dad and mom and kids, or dad and a couple of kids. And those are my absolute favorite trips, because the ultimate goal is that kid is going to have a good time, right? At that point, sorry, mom and dad, I don't really care about you. It's get that kid on some fish, and I'm going to be on their team. And as soon as that kid gets a fish or a bigger fish, we're going to start picking on you.
Eat it.
Right? That's I love those trips. It's so much fun to get families out on the boat together and enjoying an activity where they can learn from me. I can teach them some stuff. I've got all the equipment. They don't have anything to worry about. They bring a cooler with some sandwiches and snacks, and I've got everything else, and they can just sit back and I'll take care of the kids. And if dad wants to fish hard or mom wants to fish hard, they can kind of do their own thing up in the front, and I'll take care of the kids in the back. And you you lay out the ground rules right away at the beginning. Like, this is my chair and my little spot, and
Yeah.
you have this space right here, and stay in it. Drop my rod in the lake.
And don't let the food go in the carpet. And yeah, never go in the captain's chair.
My boat's not that fancy. You can drop some crumbs on the floor. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
As long as you're sharing the sandwiches.
For sure. Well, awesome. This is going to be a fantastic one. I can't wait to see what we get come the end of the weekend. And again, we just can't thank you enough, and North Country Guide Service, for taking your time and giving us all the proceeds, because it's about kids, it's about family fun, and you're the epitome of it. And I can't wait to come fish with you.
I appreciate it. We'll figure that out. If you don't win it, Chandler, we'll figure it out.
That sounds like a plan for sure.
Thank you, guys.
Tonight. We'll talk to you soon.
See you. Bye.
All right.
And when you go, I think you're going to show us how to actually bid. And I do want to just make one note that it's 32auctions.com /WHAM 2021. I think people will know that, but you just need the .com in there, guys, when you go. And I put that in the comments. So yeah, he sounds like a ton of fun to fish with. And that is a big part of it. He's got the gear, you know, he'll help the kids. If you bring your kids along, he'll retie for you, all that stuff that you might not want to do when you've got kids in the boat.
100%. So, okay, so I'm going to add this back to the stream. So if you guys are watching tonight, you want to learn how to navigate it, what we're going to do is this. So you're going to go, I changed the little address there on the bottom, added the .com. And what you're going to do is you can go in, you can create an account, or you can kind of peruse without having an account right away. But what's nice about the 32 auctions is like a quick email and contact information. It's really easy to do.
Yeah.
So then what you can do is come in right here at the home button, and this will be the home for the whole auction. And what's the bonus to signing up is I probably got 4 or 5 emails today saying I was outbid, or somebody else is hearted it, somebody else is watching it. So you kind of know who you're going up against, which I think is really fun. So you can see here, I've got 5 hearts right now. I'm watching 5 in particular. I'll just, hopefully the husband's not watching on this one, but I'm looking at, you know, a trout trip and a muskie and a walleye. And of course, I know Jason, so it's, I just have to. And then a friend of mine, Chris Granrud, because you never know on the rainy river or up on Rainy Lake what you're going to get. So that's the hearts. And so what's cool about this is you can see I've got one little star. So right now I have one of the bids. And so you will get an email saying, you know, somebody outbid you. So you don't have to be on your phone constantly through the whole weekend if there's something you're interested in. And again, we want to make this really simple for you because, of course, this is a fundraiser, and we are so blessed to be getting 100% of the proceeds to our organization. So this is super cool. So anyway, you can see here, my starred one is this one. I'm in the lead yet. So I'll watch that through the weekend. But it's a really good way to go. So the other thing is you go home here. Oh, wait, I could have done it right on that bar. I'm going to go right back to the homepage. Right next to it says my bids on it, but you can hit this little down arrow. And this is what is really great, because I know it's sometimes hard to navigate 35 guides. And so what do you like? You want to panfish? Do you have an area? You can go and filter this. You can see all the items, just my bids, my watch, unsold items, which is everything right now. But I can go down to these categories, and this is what's cool. Are you a basser? Do you like catfish, crappies, driftless regions? So of course, you know, that means that's Southeast Minnesota. And then you got lake country all the way down here too. Let's go to a big one that I think that people are really starting to get into. And where is my muskie? You can just shop this by category. And so here pops up all the people who said that they could fish for muskies. And got a couple of them hearted right there. So I think that that's fantastic. So you can sort that. And then what you can do too is kind of like just heart a couple of them and watch them through the weekend. And so this makes it super easy for you guys to go ahead and bid. Michelle, you have anything to add?
You have a nice variety going there, Shanda. Yeah, I think the other thing is I believe you can bid by proxy, which means you can put your maximum bid in, and then they will just increase if you get outbid. So again, you don't have to watch as much.
So that's right here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and so it's really a super user-friendly system. All the guides got priced based on 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. That's kind of where the starting part was. But yeah, I know how you can take a look. And when you do click on the guide, then look in the bottom left, kind of gives more of the details on how many hours, what region, if you need to bring anything. But almost all of them do provide gear. And then usually you just need to bring some drinks or snacks, or a lot of times they even have drinks. So yeah, it's great. It's great. You know, we were talking about really, a lot of times people aren't used to using guides in their own state, but there's really a lot of advantages to using guides. I love them because I fish for a lot of species, and so they really help cut down the learning curve, right? So they've got the gear. They can, you know, tell you how it works, how that species should be targeted. They can usually put you on big fish, which I also like. And then some other. It's just, Minnesota is so rich with so many different types of fishing that I think people don't realize. You've got steelhead up north, you've got sturgeon on the Rainy and the St. Croix, you've got the driftless area that we just talked about with inland trout. And then, of course, all the species that we're used to, the walleye, smallmouth bass, all that. So much variety. And there's a chance, I'd say a good chance that Canada isn't opening this year. And a lot of people are used to going away on a fishing trip. And why not plan a trip right here in Minnesota and use our guides?
Absolutely. I think that's what is so neat about this, because I have never seen a fundraiser like this before that can give us the variety and the locality of it, right? Like most of this is within our state, which is so amazing. So again, it goes back to this. It's Mother's Day, it's Father's Day, it's birthdays. And then what you touched on a little bit, when we use guides with our kids, it's not that we haven't fished that before, but to outfit a family of 4.
Yeah.
I mean, weather is hard enough to try to predict and deal with. So you get there and you're with people who know where to go. But in particular, I've been fishing with, you know, a certain person that has taught me so much about trout fishing. And I wouldn't, oh my goodness, that's just a whole nother, you know, every species really kind of has its own specialty. But it's the thing about it is I feel like I'm going to school, you know, and you get the good guides that love to teach because they love it. And that's their heart. And so I think that that's what using the guide is amazing for. And I actually have one of my favorite guides, the backstage right now. And I will bring in Mr. Scott Merwin.
Hey, Scott.
Hey guys, how you doing? Can you hear me fine?
We can, yeah.
Good.
Now, Scott has been what we call a WAM-ambassador for years. Right? He's been heavily involved with WAM as married to Kristen Merwin, our former president, but he's always been a great supporter, and he's donated his guide trip. His organization is called Lake Osakas Guide Service. And tell us about what somebody would see on your trip, Scott.
Well, depending the time of year and what kind of species they want target, you know, we kind of we fish for just about everything, whatever you want. We're going to tell you what's going the best right now, and we can also chase it even if it isn't. But you know, one thing I wanted to say, we're talking about all these guides that donated. Boy, you got a lot of amazing guides.
We're very lucky, yeah, including you.
If you're not learning anything on a guide trip, you know, then you probably shouldn't be on that guide, because pretty much all of us are out there to teach you and become a better angler. That's all of our goals. And I looked on y'all's list, and you have a lot of amazing anglers donating guide trips. So there's a lot of opportunity for people to learn a lot from a lot of these guys that donated trips. So check them out. Mine's going to be whatever kind of species you want. We're going to do whatever you want. It's going to be on Lake Osakas. It's a 4-hour trip for 2 people for whatever kind of fish you want to fish for. And WAM is very, very special to me. Always will be. You know, you guys are great. I've seen a lot of ladies become really good anglers in your club, and it's kind of neat to see that. And you know, so I'm gonna make this trip extra special for you guys.
Oh, that's awesome, Scott. And Lake Osakis has some big panfish, right?
Yeah, we got everything there. You
Got
know,
everything. Yeah.
we don't have any trout though. I'd have to hire Shanda.
Your motto is "Be the bite."
Yeah, that's one thing. If you want trout, don't call me. I mean, you know.
Well, thanks, Scott. We look forward to bidding on your trip, heading up to Lake Osakis.
Cool. Well, you guys have a good one.
Okay. Say hi to Kristen.
Awesome.
Will.
You too, Scott. Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
He's a great guy.
Awesome. It's good to hear. It's so awesome to hear from other guides that we have a good lineup and that we've got good people in this lineup. So that's huge. And I appreciate the props from that, Scott, because that means a lot coming from you and the people in the industry. So it's really, this is so fun here. I wanted to just preview and get Scott's guide service up on the screen really quick too. So you want to look up Lake Osakis guide service. It's on here right now. We have a current bid of $280. So we need to get that up because that is worth a ton. And just in the education and the fact that I think Scott will customize this whole entire thing will be just awesome. So that is Scott right there. So check him out at Lake Osakis Guide Service. Okay, so what we've got, so let's go through it. And since we're talking about the guides right now, let me get the main page back up because I know you wanted to talk about some people that you've personally fished with before. And let's check them out here. Let me get you, I'm going to share my screen with y'all.
There's three in particular that I have fished with, and I'll start talking about them while you bring them up. The first is Matt with Mohegan Outdoors, and Matt is the person that taught me how to trout fish. And he'll either do fly fishing. I know everyone thinks that trout is fly fishing. It doesn't have to be. It can either be fly fishing or spinning reels. It's usually light tackle, little maps, and he'll get you on the right streams. He's got a mini Montana trip that's pretty cool. He'll go further into the driftless, or he's got some spots near Red Wing, so he's great. And the one that you are bidding on, Shanda, Tyler from the driftless area, he will either take you wading or he'll take you in a drift boat. So you've got a couple of options there. So if you're new to trout and always wanted to give it a try, the driftless area is in southeastern Minnesota, and it hits parts of Wisconsin and Iowa too. And it's the place where the glaciers miss that area. And so that's why it's so hilly and gorgeous. And there's hundreds of natural spring-fed streams. So you can even start fishing those catch and release in January. So I just love trout in Minnesota, and I think that people don't realize that we have some really great trout fishing here. And then there's, right below, we've got MB Mille Lacs Guide Service. That's Mike Verdeja. Mike is like the most intense guide around. He does walleye, but I use him for smallies on Mille Lacs. And I love this guy. He knows Mille Lacs so well. I fished with him on my birthday last year. I'm going to fish with him on my birthday this year, targeting smallies. And I caught a 57-inch surprise muskie with him when I was going for smallies 1 year. So we'll always have that memory. And then the other one is Chris Willen Guide Service. I'd gone away to Hayward, Wisconsin, and was looking for a guide. And so he fishes the Chippewa flowage in kind of the Hayward area. He's in the upper right, Shanda. But what he's known for is muskie fishing. And he does muskies on a fly rod. So you've got this tackle box with these incredibly large, cool flies. Again, you can use spinning rods if you want, but Chris can get you one of those muskies. And the muskies in Wisconsin have that kind of green iridescent color, which is really, really cool. So I fished with all those guys. Again, you learn something from them, and they're a lot of fun, and they'll put you on fish. And you've used some of them too, right, Shanda?
I have. I've used quite a few different guides across the state, and a couple of them that are involved here. I'm trying to get the homepage up. but the cool thing is we've got, so my computer, excuse me, is being a little slow here. It's hard to pick. Like, I'm sitting here, my husband's like, don't bid on too many of them. But there's not really one. I mean, I could really single out too much that I want to. I mean, I've, of course, Rainy Days Guide Service, I've fished a ton with them. And my husband fished with Dave Gens back in the day. I mean, we have Dave Gens, people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Godfather, right, of ice fishing. And so he'll take you in the upper Mississippi for smallies. And I'll tell you, he's got a riverboat, and that's where I want to be. So just looking at all of them, you know, we've got the gentleman from School of Fish, which is one of our new sponsors, Goose's Guide Service. There's a ton. There's a friend of mine from high school, Travis Soroki. He's got Hot Rods and Reel Guide Service. Memories Made, and that's what's cool about Memories Made is Allie, which is her and her husband own this guide service, and she actually guides, and she's of course a member here at with our organization. So that's always so special. And we got Nicole Stone, and of course she's a member of Women Anglers of Minnesota as well. And there's just so many to look for. So all I can say is this is the place to be for the next couple days. Get yourself registered, make sure you go and you heart it and you watch it as it goes on. And I think the biggest thing is to remember this: Women Anglers of Minnesota is getting the full proceeds. And it's such a big organization. We're at how many people?
Right around 950. Yeah. And we've got a 45-year history, and some of the benefits that we offer are, we've got our big in-person tournament coming up June 5th. It's an open water tournament. It's kind of our flagship event. We get usually 150 women, and we give away $10,000 in prize money. We have virtual tournaments. We've got a couple kids virtual tournaments coming up. We had a speaker circuit that's still going on until early May. We've got that Master Angler program that I love. And then meetups. We've got some trips coming up now that COVID is loosening up a little bit. And then I always say, I think the best thing that we offer is a peer group for women. For a lot of women, it's the first time they've ever met another woman that likes to fish as much as they do. And they just find a sense of belonging, and you can't put a price on that. So for the $30 membership, I think we have a lot to offer.
Absolutely. And that's what's kept me in the club for years. And, you know, it's the perks of fishing and having discounts and all the stuff that comes with being in the club. But it really comes down to the women that I never would have met if I wouldn't have joined.
Yeah.
And they're in different circles of their lives, but we all have a commonality. And we all enjoy to fish. I would say most of us are pretty like true fish heads. And so it's really great. And then you got the moms and the multi-generation and the family aspect too. And so now with COVID, like you said, loosening up, our organization has so much stuff on the docket to get planned. And it's just great to work through all this growth. And all this growth is because of people like you that are joining us tonight and bidding on the auction and allowing us to carry out our mission. So I just want to say thanks for listening to us tonight. And thanks to my Facebook page for putting up with us and all the other platforms we're on. And I can't thank you enough supporting me in my passion of supporting other women in the industry or out in the fishing world.
Yeah, thanks for all you've done for WAM, Chanda. You're amazing. Check us out at womenanglersmn.com for more details, and have fun bidding.
Awesome. All right, tight lines, everybody.
Take care.